Welcome to the WWE Fastlane 2016 preview. Now, this card, it's not bad, but I don't know. A lot of these matches you could really see on free TV, to be honest. But I don't know. We'll just get into it. Okay, on the actual kickoff show, you have the U.S. champion Kalisto defending the title against Alberto Del Rio in a 2 out of 3 falls match. These guys have had a pretty good feud the last month or so. So it'll be good to see if this actually resolves it in a 2 out of 3 falls match. It's a good way to end feuds, I think, to have like a stipulation to the match. So we'll see. Okay, they have the Cutting Edge Peep Show, which is of course the combined shows of Edge and Christian. So yeah, it's because the Cutting Edge was Edge's version of the show, his own show, kind of just like the Miz TV and Highlight Reel, just all those kind of shows. And then the Peep Show was Christian's part, so they combined it and called it the Cutting Edge Peep Show. It's actually kind of clever, and they're having the New Day on that, and they say that it's going to actually be on the pay-per-view itself. So it doesn't say that it's on the kickoff, so have no idea. I don't know the order of these matches, so don't, go thinking that I know what order it is as opposed to how I say it. According to how I say it, whatever. So, whatever. And, okay. We have the Intercontinental Championship match. You got the newly crowned champion. He won it on Monday Night Raw in a fatal 5-way match. Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens is going to defend his title against Dolph Ziggler. Now, I think this is probably going to be one of the best matches on the card as far as, pure wrestling. Dolph Ziggler, oh, man. Dolph Ziggler is a great worker. He knows how to put on a great match. I think he's probably one of the most underrated guys within the roster. He's been underrated for years. I don't see anybody that can argue with me on that. Stand in line if you want to argue with me. That I think he's one of the best actual pure workers right now in WWE. So, Kevin Owens is a powerhouse. He's got like natural strength, you know what I mean? And, he puts on great matches also. His matches with Cena, they were classics for 2015. They were classic matches. So I think this is going to be we're going to be treated to a great wrestling match right there. Alrighty. I'm actually going to be excited about that one, to be honest. Okay. And then, what else do we have here? Okay, you have the 6-man tag. You have Ryback, Big Show, and Kane versus the Wyatts. But it's, Strowman, Harper, and Rowan. Braun Strowman, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan. And honestly, that sounds like a main event for Raw, to be honest. It'll be a great match, don't get me wrong. No commercials and stuff like that. This is a pay-per-view. So, it's going to be a good match, but it's I don't know, you could easily see this match on Raw. I could see them just putting that match on Raw. But I still think it'll be a good one. Maybe the opener, maybe not. They like to open up a lot of pay-per-views with Intercontinental Championship matches for some reason. I have no idea why. But, you have a championship match on the kickoff pre-show, whatever you want to say. So, and, by it being a 2 out of 3 falls match, I think they're going to allow them a good amount of time on that. But for some reason, they like to have kickoff shows. Not always, but sometimes they have kickoff shows with title matches. I don't really agree with that. But that's just the way that goes. But yeah, getting back to this match, on the one corner, you got a lot of meat. These guys, I don't know the total weight, combined weight with all three of these guys, but I'm sure it's, because I know Big Show is over 400 himself, and Kane, is over 300, and, oh my God, Ryback is close to 300. It's a fucking, you got these fucking brutes, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking break the ring with this shit, Braun Strowman's a friggin', I don't know, man. I mean, you can say what you want about the Wyatt family. Like I said, I don't really think that they have gotten as much heat as they probably should be getting. But the Strowman dude, you could call him a Duck Dynasty reject all you want. He is he's a fucking monster. Like, he really is. Like, he's a fucking beast, man. And, I'd like to see them kind of push him a little bit more. I think they're obviously going in that direction, which is great. So, we'll see what happens there. But I think it'll be a solid match. Don't get me wrong. I think that will be a good match. Okay. Now, this one, anybody that watched the Royal Rumble, the actual Royal Rumble match, saw the debut of AJ Styles. Now, AJ Styles has been doing a feud, he's been having a feud with Chris Jericho. Now, Jericho has been very instrumental in basically trying to make new guys. Anybody that watched WrestleMania, what WrestleMania was that? Was it 20? Oh, man, I gotta think now. It might have been, I think it was maybe 29? Yeah, that was WrestleMania 29 because CM Punk, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because CM Punk fucked The Undertaker that year at WrestleMania 29. So, it was, yeah, he fought Fandango, Chris Jericho fought Fandango, and Fandango won that match in his debut. Like, he had this whole, like gimmick of, oh, I'm not going to wrestle yet, because just this whole, nobody's good enough for me to wrestle yet and all that shit. Kind of how, Damien Sandow did when he first started. So, whatever. These new guys, they have to make a certain impact the way they start. But, I mean, that was, he made him kind of, he will always have that victory. But, I mean, AJ Styles is a really, really, really great worker. Jericho's obviously a great worker. But, this is, I guess, what they call the rubber match of of their feud. So, they, yeah, I mean, I look for this to be a fast-paced match. Obviously, I don't, I'd like to see them give this match a lot of time, to be honest. Even though it's not for a title or anything. I think this match should get, I don't know, they should give him time because I want to see, and I think everybody else would like to see how much more AJ Styles brings to the table, because if they weren't really familiar with him in TNA, then it'll give, a newer audience a way to, basically see what he brings to the table as far as in-ring ability and just his whole deal, But honestly, I do see AJ Styles winning this match. But that's just my take on that. Okay, now this is the first of 2 Divas matches, which I am I'm very pleased that they're doing that, because they do, want to try to push the women and everything like that. So I'm happy that they're doing 2 ladies matches on this pay-per-view, which is a very, very good thing. Now, you have Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks taking on Naomi and Tamina. Now, obviously, Team Bad used to be Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Tamina. But, they're on opposing sides because Sasha Banks wanted to branch out on her own, but she still tried to say, oh, we could all still be on the same side as, talking to Naomi and Tamina, but obviously they didn't want anything to do with that. And I do think they should probably get a Divas tag team championship into the mix, just to bring more Divas, into the main limelight or whatever, mainstream, however you want to say it. But also, this is what makes Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks actual strange bedfellows, because Team PCB, which of course used to be Paige, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. Now, obviously, they have disbanded, her and Paige, when she turned heel, disbanded from Charlotte and Becky Lynch originally. And then, Becky Lynch and Charlotte kind of stayed friends for a little while longer than that. And then, obviously, Charlotte won the Divas Championship, and that all changed. So, I just think that's kind of an interesting dilemma. How, these two are now basically not forced to be together, but they're have common ground on that level. They had their groups turn their back on them. And, it's just kind of strange how that works out, that they're, now on the same page and have common ground as far as that goes. So I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see. I really think it would be a great match. I'd like to see them get a decent amount of time with it. Honestly, Divas matches tend to be a lot quicker. I really don't know why, but I mean, I know these ladies can wrestle. There's no doubt about that, with their physical ability and, in-ring ability. I don't know if they don't allow them a lot of time. Maybe they don't want to have a lot of time because, I don't know. I don't want to get into too much detail with that. But, yeah, I mean, I really, like Charlotte, I think is a great competitor, great wrestler. Probably, pound for pound, probably one of the best wrestlers in the females division. Not just because she has the title. I really do think that she is a great wrestler. Obviously, she is the daughter of Ric Flair. So, I mean, that kind of speaks for itself there. You know what I mean? But, oh, man. I don't know. I think this will be a great match. And, okay. Speaking of Charlotte, we have the Divas Championship. We have Charlotte, the Divas Champion, defending against Brie Bella. Now, anybody that knows the whole deal with Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan is married to Brie Bella. So, they, I don't know. I mean, I really would like to see Brie Bella take the title from Charlotte. I honestly don't think that's going to happen, but I would like to see that. Just, I don't know. It would be a good thing to happen. Have her going to WrestleMania. I did hear that she was thinking of retiring also, with her husband because they want to start a family and everything like that. And that's obviously, very personal, and that's their own business and everything like that. But, I mean, she is still booked for this match. Now, as far as talking, like, straight talking with wrestling, if they do throw the belt on her, they would obviously have her go to WrestleMania, and that would probably be just how, with AJ Lee, how she retired after her WrestleMania match or whatever. So that might be what they have planned. It would be nice for her to retire that way. Obviously, going to WrestleMania as the Divas Champion. I don't know if they're going to do that. That would be cool if they did. It would be a great way to go out. But I'm not sure if that's the direction they're going to go in. These two will have a great match. I think Brie Bella is a very underrated wrestler, just like her sister. Obviously, Nikki Bella, who is out with she had neck surgery. If you follow her Snapchat, actually, you have seen that. But that's a totally different thing there. But I don't know. I think this would be a good match. I really do. Let's see. Cover the peep show thing. Okay, now, obviously this is the match that everybody is looking forward to. Now, anybody that knows the last few years of the February pay-per-view knows that it was Elimination Chamber. Now, I don't know. I mean, I guess they had to get rid of the Elimination Chamber to have it every single year in between WrestleMania just because it's such a brutal match. But they used to utilize that match because this is back, a few years now, when they still had the World Heavyweight title and the WWE Championship, respectively. They still had both separate titles, and basically one of them used to be like on SmackDown and the other one was on Raw. But, in the last few years, they kind of branched away from the whole brand extension, but they still had both titles. But that's just, I don't know. That's just how they chose to do it. Anyway, they don't do the Elimination Chamber anymore. The pay-per-view, the match used to set up which champion, because here, this is how it was. Royal Rumble, you would be able to pick which world title you wanted to compete against at WrestleMania. Then the other title would be in Elimination Chamber match. You'd have the 6 guys in there, and that would determine what, who would face that champion as whoever wins that Elimination Chamber match would go to face the other person for the other title, whichever, because it really depends on whoever the Royal Rumble winner picks. Obviously they had the first choice. That's how it used to be. But it's not like that anymore. And I guess the first I wasn't really used to it, but I think now it's kind of cool because now, like, the main event, it seems like, because last year it was like that. It was Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, and obviously Roman Reigns won the match. This, like, the main event. There's no title match. Triple H is not defending his title at Fastlane. So, I think this is kind of a cool thing that you have, the main event be on the Fastlane pay-per-view, have it be like a number one contender match. I think that's kind of a cool thing to set up for the Road to WrestleMania. So this is the second year they're doing that. Obviously, anybody that has been following the last few weeks knows that it's Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for Triple H's WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, obviously, this match is only coming about because we know that the Royal Rumble... can't talk here. The Royal Rumble match itself was for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship this past year, last month. So, normally, since we only have one world champion now, that would have been, whoever had won that Royal Rumble match would have been the number one contender for the, world, for the world title, and would have went on to WrestleMania. That's how it traditionally is. Especially since, like I said, now we only have one champion. So, this year it was for the title itself, for the world title, and Triple H wins. Don't even get me started on that. But, whatever. It's just what they chose to do. Anyway. So now they're having this triple threat match. Obviously, they throw Brock Lesnar into it. Obviously, Brock Lesnar is an attraction, regardless of how much people love him, hate him. I really think it's on either side with Brock Lesnar, to be honest. He's obviously a phenomenal worker. He's a fucking monster. And if, in real life, he could really decimate anybody on the roster. It's just the truth. But, not to discard, Ambrose or Reigns at all. At all. I mean, those guys are, in their own right, they are phenomenal competitors. But, Brock Lesnar, man. Fucking Brock Lesnar. But, okay. Alrighty. We got that out of the way. We have this match. Now, they obviously, these two are going to have to end up competing in this triple threat match. I'm talking about Ambrose and Reigns. So, it doesn't surprise me that they had to obviously turn them against each other at some point. And have Ambrose try to attack Reigns and all that, and have them go at each other. And then, obviously Lesnar, is, I don't want to say he's the wild card, but, by being a triple threat match, honestly, that triple threat match he had with Cena, that Lesnar had with Cena and Rollins, that was one of the best matches I've ever seen for wrestling, ever. That match was great. It was action-packed, unbelievable, man. That was probably one of the... I'll put it like this. It's probably one of the best triple threat matches I've seen. I'm not really big on triple threat matches, to be honest, but that was one of the best ones I've ever seen. So, I would like to think that this match would be like that. I don't really know. I would like to see them, have a good amount of time with this match. Obviously, this is the main event. We already know that. But, honestly, the outcome, at least the outcome that I think for the long haul of, predicting wrestling and, knowing, at least having a decent handle on the business of what direction they're trying to go in, I think the outcome is probably kind of predictable as to, who's going to win this match. I probably have, honestly, it's probably a 90% chance that Reigns is going to win. He may not, but I have a very, very strong feeling that he is going to win this match. Obviously, I'd want him to win this match. I'd like Ambrose, but I don't know. I don't have anything against him. It's just, Roman Reigns is a fucking beast, man. He really is. But, Lesnar, if he does not win this match and does not go on to face Triple H at WrestleMania, I don't know. I could see him going against Ambrose. I could see that being a match at WrestleMania. And, it would be a interesting thing to see. And I think it would not even so much interesting. It would make a lot more sense considering that he is no longer the Intercontinental Champion, as he lost it, like I said, on Monday Night Raw in that fatal 5-way match. So, he obviously lost it to Kevin Owens. So, I think that might be the direction they're going in. They are hinting at that. They're hinting at maybe, obviously the match we don't know who won yet, so I can't even really assume that all the way. So, it might be that Reigns beats Ambrose as this may be the ending here. This could be it. It could be that Ambrose, Reigns defeats Ambrose by something happening with the Wyatts distracting Lesnar or beating up Lesnar. Now, more times than not, triple threat matches are no DQ, no disqualification. That's just the way they like to have those type of matches. I mean, it's kind of hard to have a count out when you have just like one person that could just be on the outside for any given time. So that's why they just like to have it as no DQ. So, that honestly sounds like the very, very logical outcome. I don't know if that's exactly what they're going to do, but that seems like what direction they would go toward, considering that I don't really see that many other opponents for Bray Wyatt for this year's WrestleMania. I do think it would be a good match, Lesnar and Bray Wyatt. But I don't know, man. I just don't know. I am looking forward to this match. I do think it will be a good match. I don't really think anybody would deny that. Anytime you see Lesnar in a wrestling match, it's just something. It's something you have to see. Like I said, casual wrestling fans, hardcore wrestling fans, you enjoy watching Brock Lesnar decimate anybody. I mean, it's the whole idea. Like, you already know he's a beast, and you have to see if you can find people that will stand up to his caliber and his strength. And he's just a fucking monster in the ring. He really is. And anybody that's never seen Lesnar compete, I would definitely advise you to watch this match. I don't know, man. I really think it is going to be a good one. I really would like Reigns to win, and obviously I think that is what is going to happen. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. We will see. But I don't know, man. Now that I think about it, it actually is a pretty decent card. It's just a lot of the matches you really could just see on free TV, but that's just the era that we live in with professional wrestling. It's just the way it is. Well, that's about it, folks. I'm going to get the fuck out of here, and I will see you when I see you.